officially confirmed that every single game that has ever come to the console is now going to be ported to the PlayStation 5. The Xbox is dead. It means I was completely right about it, but of course I'm not
Man,
happy.
you
But
weren't right about
with a lot,
anything, man. You know, he's so excited. He just can't hide it. I don't want you. I mean, come on, man. What are you doing, Dreamcast guy, bro? Happy holidays. I mean, you just was enjoying Indiana Jones on your Xbox. Now all of a sudden they're dead.
past couple of years, I've
Come
been
on,
talking
man.
about the fact that it's been painfully obvious to me, and I feel like it's been
It's been
obvious to
painfully obvious that even PlayStation 5 is dead and the true concept of exclusives don't exist because that's why Sony is putting all their games on PC. How is this a surprise for anybody that's been playing on Xbox, considering that Microsoft has been dropping games day and date with their PC counterpart since the Xbox One generation? I personally don't think people care. Does that disvalue all the glorious PlayStation exclusives that dropped on the PS5 because now all of a sudden they have PC releases? All this is telling everybody is that why are you playing on console and how come you people haven't upgraded to a PC? That's all I'm getting from this video.
a lot of people, except for the Xbox fanboys, that Xbox is going third party.
That's
Microsoft
funny considering that PlayStation has gone third party by putting their games on PC. See, the funny thing is with console fanboys, you guys want to change the terms of what we use in gaming. If your game is played on another platform, that is the definition of third party. I even go as far to say that even if it's on a PS4 or PS5, that is not exclusive. An exclusive is a game that is only available on one singular platform. I don't care if Nintendo owns it. I don't care if Sony owns it. I don't care if Microsoft owns it. If it's on another platform, therefore the game isn't exclusive, which also means that none of the PlayStation 5 games that have came out are exclusive either because they're all inevitably dropping on PC. There you go.
Gaming does not really care about the division of the Xbox console. At this point,
Yeah, they don't care so much as that they don't care so much about Xbox guys. That's the reason why they dropped Indiana Jones on the Xbox series, and that's why you ponies are waiting to play this game that you guys want to play.
just trying to make their money back. When it comes to the strategy of Nintendo versus PlayStation versus Microsoft,
Don't even put PlayStation in the same category as Nintendo, considering that Nintendo is not putting their games elsewhere. I mean, they have a few like Fatal Frame Blackwater. I don't really want to go talk about this again, but like I said, that is a game that they co-own. So yes, Nintendo themselves have even put their own games on other platforms. Made in Blackwater. They don't own the Fatal Frame. I'll touch up on this. They don't own the Fatal Frame franchise. They own the particular games that they funded, right? So if you see Bayonetta 2 and 3 coming to another platform, that means that's Nintendo co-signed that for because they're joint ventures. They own a part of that game.
Microsoft's always been in a very strange spot because they have trillions of dollars. When it comes to the Xbox brand, they're backed by Windows and Word and all sorts of other stuff. So, Microsoft doesn't care about selling the Xbox. They
Well,
care.
that's funny because let's act like Sony doesn't do other things too, like try to sell TVs that are not successful and all the other stuff that they work on. I mean, what are you talking about, bro? It's so funny that you guys want to still hold on to the concept of exclusivity when all your games are inevitably dropping on PC. How is this any different than Xbox? I mean, at this point, all you guys are doing is fighting over timed exclusivity. And the funny thing is, these ponies want to sit there and say that this Bethesda and Activision deal for Xbox is not paying them any dividends. Well, that's the reason why they're playing Indiana Jones and you have to wait for it. Because let's be honest, if Bethesda and Activision were their own company, we wouldn't have the benefit of playing the games early before you ponies finally get to play within 6 months. So regardless if you people thought that these games were going to continue to stay exclusive, you're still benefiting from the third party. It's like Microsoft said, you know what? We're going to control the third party division and we're going to make sure our audience benefits first on a few games, which clearly that's what they've been doing. So I don't see the problem. A lot of these games would have skipped, I'm sorry, a lot of these games would have dropped on both platforms if it wasn't for Microsoft. But the fact that Microsoft owns them means that they can give their audience the experience first. And yet, for some reason, you ponies don't want to bring that up because it goes against your own argument.
about selling games, selling subscriptions to Game Pass.
Oh wow, Xbox is about selling games and selling subscriptions. You know, the whole purpose as to why somebody should pick up a console in the first place? No wonder Sony's struggling because you're too busy trying to sell hardware and you're not trying to sell video games.
That whereas with Nintendo, they want you to buy a Switch, they want you to buy Pokemon and Zelda and Mario and stuff
Yeah,
like
if
that.
only we can get the ponies to do the same thing with their own exclusives, buddy, but unfortunately they don't buy them.
With PlayStation, they want you to buy everything on their console, whether it is Hogwarts Legacy or even third-party stuff.
And hold on, and no, they don't. PlayStation wants you to buy their own intellectual property. That's where they get the money. What are you talking about, bro? Because that same logic can also apply to Xbox too. You're mentioning third-party games. Have you noticed that PlayStation gamers never talk about their own exclusives because they don't sell worth a damn? That's why they don't bring them up. That's why they're so fixated on Xbox, because Xbox games are now starting to sell better than PlayStation ones, even though their games are available through Game Pass Ultimate, which you don't even have to buy the games anymore, and they still outsell Until Dawn Remake and Concord. Absolutely embarrassing.
Call of Duty or Final Fantasy. They want you to buy, of course, Horizon, the 18 Horizon games we're going to get, stuff like that. But I think it's weird to actually see a leaker specifically telling us now Xbox is just giving up. But let's talk about the
Xbox is giving up that you guys got Avowed, you got Gears E-Day, South of Midnight. I mean, you have all these great games coming out to the Xbox, and yet for some reason, Xbox is dead. What is you talking about, bro? If anybody's dead, it's PlayStation. Because for you people don't understand, PlayStation is in the same position as the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast didn't drop out of the console market because it was a failure. It dropped out of the console market because PlayStation 2 came in with a DVD player and took a huge market share solely based off that. And then on top of that, backwards compatibility. There was no way possible that the original Xbox or even the Dreamcast or the GameCube was even going to succeed off that, especially considering how many people bought the PlayStation 1. That's why PlayStation easily won that generation. But even then, a lot of people still didn't buy enough software for it.
Talk about the statement, and let's talk about how people are not taking the news well.
I think you people don't know nothing about attach rates, because I've had a guy argue in my comment section say, well, games back then only sold 1 million. First off, gaming wasn't as popular as it is now. Second of all, gaming back then wasn't as accessible. People didn't know what to trust. You have internet, you can look things up. I mean, you could even order games online. You could even have them go to your doorstep. And you guys out here comparing games how it was in the 90s to how it is now. Gaming is more accessible now. It's multi-platform, and Alan Wake still can't even eclipse 2 million. And you people out here talk about gaming is in a good position. Yeah, gaming is more popular. Yeah, gaming is popular in all the wrong reasons. Fortnite, Apex Legends, GTA, NBA 2K, FIFA, you get the games already. That's what it's popular in. It's not popular in all the other games that you people allegedly like to play. And that is the reason why the gaming industry has become stagnant. See, back then you could make 1 million and get a greatest hits copy. And guess what? You made enough money because the development of those games was cheap. But with higher budgets means that you need to have a higher amount of people buying the game. How hard is it for you people to understand? You guys are like, well, a million nowadays is good. No, it ain't. Not if the budget is over 300 million, you big dummy. Like, how many times do I have to explain this to you guys, man? You guys are a bunch of stuck-up old men that don't know what you're talking about. It's pathetic. How do you guys compare a PlayStation 5 game selling at 1 mil being successful in comparison to a PS1 game that probably only cost them $100,000 to make? Like, bro, you people will do anything to fanboy, and this is why real gamers like myself will call you out on this behavior.
Hope you're having a great day, and if you could, please give this video a like. Spots over a PlayStation 5 that isn't just Game Pass.
No, give me a reason as to why I should buy a PlayStation 5 when I could just get access to Xbox games as well as PlayStation titles at a later date. I mean, tell me. At this point, people might as well go to PC. And what's crazy, you guys want to keep downplaying the Steam machine, right? This would be the perfect time if Steam did come out with this machine, because you'll have access to both parties. And there you go. And then on top of that, free online. And you guys act like, oh, that wouldn't, ruffle a few feathers. Really? Free online? access to Xbox and PlayStation games at a later date? And we're going to sit there and say that that wouldn't ruffle a few feathers of the competition. Steam Machine, please come out with this, please, because to be honest with you, I'm planning to abandon these consoles because these consoles aren't providing me with no value.
The comments are pointing out the fact that, yeah, with Game Pass being on PC, there really isn't a specific reason to buy an Xbox Series X over a PlayStation 5 or a PS5.
Oh, really? Is that why you playing? What console did you play Indiana Jones on? Oh, the Xbox Series X, right? Because is that game available on PS5 right now? When Avowed come out, what console is that dropping on? The Xbox Series X. Some people don't want to wait for these games. Unless you got something in comparison that's going to want to make these people buy a PS5 over an Xbox. Then there you go. Those games only dropping on Xbox and PC. And you guys can keep talking about, well, they're dropping on a later date. Well, they say the same argument with PC. Well, I don't care if you guys get them on PC. You're getting them at a what? At a later date. You see, this is why I don't get ponies, bro. You guys are still caught up in the fixation of this console war when it's already over, bro. There's no console war going on. What do you people don't understand?
5 Pro, even a Nintendo Switch, or even spend that money on a great gaming PC. Like, I feel like a bunch of people have been moving towards PC gaming, and I feel like the only
excuse that ponies use is, well, I don't like playing on PC. Well, guess what? Xbox gamers don't like playing on PC too. So there you go. So if they want that PC experience, they can get it through Xbox on top of having dev mode, which also gives you access to a lot of emulated games and product. There you go. So essentially, we bought a PC anyway. We just bought a limited PC through Xbox. That's why the Xbox exists, for the console gamer that loves the PC infrastructure but doesn't want to deal with all the PC problems that you ponies keep complaining about. So therefore, there's still every reason to want to own a Series X. I just exposed you on that notion.
People would still buy an Xbox. It's stuff like this. All my friends play Xbox, so I decided to
It's so funny that all these ponies claim that they got these powerful PCs to run these Xbox games are the same ponies playing Helldivers 2 on PS5. Like, it doesn't make sense, bro. This is why we call you guys cap in every single video. You know how many people that I've seen talk about, oh, PlayStation 5 is better than Xbox, and every time a PS5 and a PC release comes out, they always buy the PS5 version? Why? Why didn't you buy the superior PC version? But you guys use this as an argument to knock Xbox. It makes no sense to me.
Xbox. It's consumer friendly. They port their games to other systems, and that's fine. It's the end of an idiotic console war.
Yay.
Now, I want to take a look at the specific tweet from Jez Corden, which is this. So, the era of Xbox having permanent console exclusives is over. It's because they don't want to mandate it on teams that aren't set up for multi-platform simultaneous development. So he's essentially saying that they're having to make separate porting houses. Console. I did see some people trying to do a pushback. There has been talks from a lot of Xbox fanboys saying, okay, if Sony puts games on Steam, then that means they're third parties.
That is exactly what third party is. If you take your game and put it on another platform, that is exactly what third party is. It's so funny that ponies now want to change the narrative of what makes a game exclusive.
Xbox puts games on PlayStation, that doesn't necessarily mean they're third party.
It is. Once you decide to put your game on another platform, it don't matter what it is, that is third party.
It's definitely just silly word games.
No, what you're doing is silly word games. You're sitting there telling people, go ahead, I'm going to let him finish.
It's obvious that PlayStation is still making exclusives.
Oh, really? PlayStation is still making exclusives, and Last of Us 2 is dropping on PC. PlayStation is continuing to make exclusives, and yet Marvel Spider-Man 2 is dropping on PC next year. What are you talking about, bro? That literally, you want to sit there and talk about, oh, that's just wordplay, and they're just trying to fix. That's exactly what you're doing. Look at the term of what exclusive means. One singular platform. That can even apply to even your very own. So even if a game drops on PS4 and 5, that is not an exclusive to the PS5 because you can still play it on the PS4. This is what I was trying to tell you, but then you guys go as far as to say, it's a Nintendo brand exclusive. Bro, shut up. People are getting tired of this fanboy logic, bro. You know what I mean? I heard Nintendo fanboys talk about how Mario Kart 8 was an exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, and all because what is it, Nintendo? It's a Nintendo brand. Bro, shut up. You sound so stupid when you talk. oh, it got to wagon one because it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Already well knowing that you can play it on a PS4, which means you don't. That's what the problem of Sony now. Sony don't have exclusives because even PS4 and PS5, that is not an exclusive. It's a Sony exclusive, bro. You know what, man? This guy wants to sit there and talk about how people are changing words around, and that's exactly what you people are doing.
Nintendo is still doing exclusive.
Nintendo. That is it.
That stuff does come to PC. At this point, it's very
And
obvious.
even then, Nintendo put their games on Xbox and PlayStation, which happens to be Fatal Frame Blackwater. They own a part of that game. They don't own Fatal Frame, but they own that game because they funded it. No different than how Sony. Have you noticed that Street Fighter V hasn't dropped on another platform? Because Sony funded the development of the game, which means they own a portion of it. That's how joint. See, the problem is you guys don't know how this works. That's how joint ventures work, which means that Nintendo and Koei Tecmo had to agree of dropping this game elsewhere, which that means that Nintendo also put a game on a competing platform. Look it up, guys, if you don't believe me. They own a part of that game, Fatal Frame Blackwater and Lunar Eclipse. They don't own the Fatal Frame franchise, just like Nintendo don't own Bayonetta, but they own 2 and 3. Why, guys? Because they funded it. So if you do see Bayonetta 2 or Bayonetta 3 dropping on PS4, 5, or Xbox Series, then that means that Nintendo agreed with those games coming. I'm telling you, I know how this works.
Only one of these people has basically become the next Sega, but...
Oh, really? That's funny, considering that you got a Sega Dreamcast on. Bro, it's about time you get that removed, bruh. You know, Monday, Tuesday, happy days. Wednesday, Thursday, happy days. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're right here for you. This man's a fraud. He's fraud. This man's a fraud. He's a fraud. This man's a fraud. He's a fraud.
I wanted to just talk about this as well because it's funny that a bunch of Xbox podcasts lately during the Activision Blizzard deal, and now it all seems inevitable. There was first
This man is getting his leaks from Reddit, bro. You know, these are Reddit posts. Are you serious, bro? You're getting your information from Reddit?
When there was
I thought these were some legitimate sources that you had here. This is Reddit. It says Reddit at the top.
Discussions about Microsoft buying Call of Duty, there were these legal fears. There was court cases and stuff specifically about the power of exclusivity. Okay,
but you said it wouldn't go through, and it did.
You take the biggest game series of all time, Call of Duty, which has made tens of billions of dollars, and suddenly say...
Which you said would fail.
Okay, this is only going to exist on Xbox. Would that skew the market? Would that break things? Would that be unfair, right? And now it's funny to think about the fact that not only is Call of Duty on PlayStation, Halo is going to be on PlayStation, Forza is going to be on PlayStation, Gears of War is probably coming to PlayStation. So it's weird that in their effort to try and make
But when? Because this also brings up the argument of what you ponies say about PC. Well, they got to wait 1 or 2 years and, you know, all this, right? People are not willing to wait. People are going to want to play these games, and especially if Sony's not providing their own experiences, they're going to want to play them first on Xbox or PC, if that's what they decide to play on. Which also means that Microsoft has every right to still want to continue their console gaming division. Like, what do you people don't understand, man? Like, I really think you ponies just are living in the 90s. Grow up. Things are different. You never thought Sony would put their games on PC. How many of these ponies, bro, go back and watch a Porter Rock video and he would tell you that God of War would never have a PC release, and now all of a sudden it does, and you guys are still calling these games exclusives. You guys ain't no different than the Xbox fanboys from back in the Xbox One generation when they were out here talking about how we got console exclusives, and that's exactly what you guys got now at this point. Don't worry, give it one more generation, and Sony would be dropping their games on other platforms too. I'm hearing that they're trying to drop Uncharted and a few of their classic games on the Nintendo Switch, so we'll see how that turns out. This is from my source.
Duty only on Xbox. Now every game's on PlayStation. Talk about a bad deal backfiring. What's funny is the fact that everybody is basically...
Yeah, it backfired so bad that you guys have to wait for Indiana Jones and Xbox gamers get to play it first. Yes, that's definitely backfired.
Like, imagine telling somebody back in December of 2023 that Xbox would transition to being a third-party publisher. I was talking about this a lot in
Yeah, who
2023.
would have thought Sony would have been doing the same thing by publishing and putting their games through Microsoft's very own ecosystem, which happens to be Windows operating system on PC, something that Microsoft owns. All Sony's doing is preparing their games to be dropped on the Xbox ecosystem, apparently. And I'm not talking about the consoles. You guys have to understand this is bigger than the console. That's what you people don't understand. Companies are trying to expand on that notion because they're not making enough money off just console gamers alone. That's why they're expanding. See, Nintendo would be doing the same thing if they weren't making money off the Nintendo Switch. But as of right now, they all good. So the only one we can sit there and say they got exclusives is Nintendo. That is it.
And I had so many people trying to shout me down. I've been saying, hey, Xbox is bleeding money. Xbox is spending tens of billions of dollars on acquisitions that they're not going to make back. Like, in my mind, the math of Game Pass has gotten increasingly out of whack. The original idea of Game Pass, I think, was a fun idea. You know, the whole Netflix idea of, okay, if we make a show that costs $100 million, but we have 100 million subscribers, then we can make 10 of those
You
shows.
don't need 100 million subscribers to make $100 million. That means that would be $1 each subscriber. They've already made that money back.
And still stay profitable. And that was clearly the idea with Game Pass. Okay, we can make a game that costs $300 million, sell subscriptions for $20 a month, and if we even get a couple solid million subscribers, we can keep turning.
They don't need subscribers. This is where you guys are stupid. You don't need subscribers. Microsoft is comfortable. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say that Microsoft wouldn't want to have 80, 90 to 100 million subscribers. More the merrier. But my point is this, though. They already have the core audience of the Xbox already, not including PC, 34 million right there. All they got to do is keep that 34, 35, whatever the case is, still subscribe and having them giving that money a month. That is it. That's why they keep updating the catalog so people like that can still continue to be subscribed. No different than Netflix by providing new movies for their audience so they can still stay subscribed. You guys are looking at it like, oh, well, they got 35 million. They need to make 60. They have to have 60 million subscribers to make money. No, all they need to do is keep that core audience, which is these Xbox gamers, and keep them subscribed. That is it. And therefore, they can get the money. Now, if they do get more subscribers as time goes on, the more the merrier. But Microsoft is making more than enough money off the subscribers that they have now. Do the math, guys. 35 million times $180, and you will see that Microsoft is bringing in way more money than what Sony's doing. Sony is the one doing $300 million games, or should I say $400, $800 million Concords, and it's failing, which means that Sony didn't even get a dime back in return. How do you people don't see this, man? But okay, like I said, Gamester clearly don't know what he's talking about.
But the Game Pass numbers never kept up. Game Pass has been stagnant, if not decreasing.
It doesn't need to increase. It doesn't.
Clarity. So they're starting to go, okay, we have to sell these games. Games actually sell on PlayStation.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Games actually sell on PlayStation? You heard this, fool? You hear this, guys? Games actually sell on PlayStation. Really, Concord? Until Dawn Remake sold terrible. Silent Hill 2 barely even hit 2 million. Rise of Ronin flopped. Foam Stars flopped. Destruction All-Stars flopped. What is you talking about, bro? Helldivers 2 was only successful because of PC. Black Myth Wukong did better on PC than it did on PlayStation 5. What is you talking about, bro? Like, this is why people be coming at you guys, bro, because y'all don't know what you're talking about. None of those games, nobody was picking up those remasters because most of you guys already had the game and you updated it for $10. Sony is robbing y'all. But I guarantee Sony, for every upgrade that PlayStation had, they'd be like, look at that, Last of Us sold 20 million. And 20 million of those dudes was just $10 upgrades. That's how Sony get down with business, bro. They're not consistent and they lie a lot.
Gamers actually buy games for full price day one, which is the kind of money that Microsoft is craving with their big acquisitions.
Yeah, so you see how he laughed right there? Because he knows what he's saying is full of crap.
It's interesting to think that
PlayStation gamers buy games when Concord and Until Dawn Remake flopped. Yeah.
1 year from the deal being closed, Microsoft has shut down studios, consolidated like hell, and
Sony has done the same thing, and yet we haven't seen a PlayStation Dead video yet on your channel.
screw it, just buy it, please. We don't care where, just buy it. But I want to talk about this. I solely blame the Activision Blizzard deal for this. They got investors to look at their books more and more, and they realized they can make more money having games everywhere. If Xbox stopped at Bethesda, I don't see the future we have now. I'll be honest, I completely agree with this. I've also talked about this.
No. Don't say that. Because now you're sounding stupid. You guys are saying that, oh, if they had Bethesda, that these, yeah, maybe this is a part of it. Maybe that with the games expanding and, you know, the market and stuff and Microsoft having the power, so they wouldn't allow that. But things are better for Xbox because, you know, I'm going to explain why. Because games like Indiana Jones would have normally dropped on both platforms. But considering that Microsoft owns Bethesda and Activision, they've reaped the benefits of these games being provided through Game Pass Ultimate, either first, they play the game. Like, these are things that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Microsoft acquiring the deal. Would people have been playing Call of Duty through Game Pass, or would they have had to buy it? Now gamers can look at the fact like, oh, well, I'm paying for a subscription, and Call of Duty is just added with it, while you people are paying for a subscription service and then having to buy the game separately. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And you guys want to sit there and say Xbox gamers ain't benefiting. Where are they not benefiting from? They were already paying for a subscription anyway. Now they get access to Stalker 2 and Indiana Jones and all these other games, while you get access to nothing. And the only thing you guys want to say, oh, we big boy gamers, we buy our games. When Until Dawn Remake and Concord proceed to fail in front of you. Yeah, okay.
I think that the whole idea of Microsoft wanting to go third party, it's obvious that this was a...
PlayStation is third party too. If you put your games on another platform, that is the definition of third party.
Move. This was their talk about the fact that, okay, we have to put stuff on PlayStation. This isn't an option anymore. We are having to do this to recoup some of the cost at some point.
And what is Sony doing to recoup some of this cost? By putting their games on PC. But unfortunately, Microsoft has been more successful by doing that than Sony, because you guys continue to buy their games like a bunch of dummies and not buy your own. Maybe Phil Spencer was right. Everything is an Xbox, apparently. PC is an Xbox, Xbox is an Xbox, and now PlayStation is an Xbox, because that's why you guys are looking forward to playing Xbox games on PS5.
Even announced.
Y'all don't even care about Intergalactic.
Awards, which I've made a couple videos talking.
You heard what he said. He won Gears and Forza.
They showed the trailer for the Outer Worlds.
But then they go as far. Out of 30 years, of Xbox, now all of us, I'm sorry, not 30 years, but over 25 years of Xbox, now they want to sit there and say that Xbox has games now. They only have games when they drop on PlayStation.
Good, and that's an Xbox Game Studios trailer, and in the reveal trailer, it says coming to PlayStation 5. I think that was them sort of just testing the waters to tell people.
Yeah, you heard what you just said. It's coming to PlayStation 5 probably at a later date. So therefore, they still get access to the game first.
Hey.
How is that not a benefit?
To only play stuff on Xbox. Yeah, that ship